A security policy is a document that states in writing how an organization plans to protect its assets. Security policies are living documents that are continuously updated as threats evolve. Our discussion today focuses on the preparation of a security risk management program policy, a critical subset of the security risk management program. Welcome to Security Nuggets Podcast, a professional channel that engages on security risk insights and perspectives for continuous learning purpose. I'm your host, Ashley, a certified security risk consultant, and I am glad to see you joining me in this discussion. And without wasting any time, let's dive right into it. A security risk management program policy describes the entire organization's security effort. This is the primary document that the organization's security policies, standards, procedures, tools, controls are derived from. At its most basic form, a security risk management program policy should consist of the following sections. It should consist the policy, the mission statement, the objectives, business planning, application, expected performance, criteria, documentation, and responsibilities. Now, to see how those sections would be expounded within a policy document, I have a sample template draft of a security risk management program policy, which I want us to go through it, all right? So let's have a look at that. Here we are. We are going to assume that the draft policy is for company Z, right? And how we articulate and outline this policy is going to be commensurate to organization Z, okay? In regards to the company structure. Now, obviously, security policies vary. And security risk management program policies vary from one organization to another. This can be influenced by a lot of factors, particularly the organizational structure, all right? Who are the people in management? How is the leadership structured, all right? How is the organization structured, all right? How is the organization culture? Those sort of things, okay? Now, to get us started, it is very important for every security risk management program policy to be well documented and to be well referenced for tracking purposes. Remember, this is a living document that you're going to be referring to time and again. So tracking needs to be consistent. And again, it needs to have that audit trail going as well, all right? So depending on how your organization, a filing system, or document management system works, you need to have that in reference, all right? Now, for purposes of this draft, we're going to have a first section where we're going to have the document information, all right? We're going to have the document ID, the document owner, the issue date and last saved date, and the file name, all right? Now, the document ID is going to be referenced to your document management system in your organization, which varies, all right? And the document owner here is going to be the head of security, the head focal point of security, who is heading the security department in in your organization, okay? That is going to be the owner of the document, all right? And we're going to see why that is the case, especially in the responsibility section down there as we're going through the policy document, all right? At 2, we're going to have a section where we're going to have the document history, all right? Because we need to track the document. We need to track the policy. When it changes, we need to track when it changes, why it changes, all right? So we need to have that document history well outlined there, okay? Because remember, we said that this is going to be a living document that is continuously updated as threats evolve, all right? It is going to be continuously updated. So we need to have that change reflected in it as time moves, all right? Again, we need to have a section for document approvals, all right? Remember, this is a document that will be going through approvals for it to be executed, okay? If you're preparing the policy for the security risk management program, assuming that you're formulating the program from scratch, it obviously needs to go through some form of approval, all right? And most importantly, approval from the organization head, all right? Who is the boss of the company or the organization? We need to have that authorization from them so that we can be given the green light. We can be given the green light to go ahead and execute the security risk management program, all right? And again, we also have to remember that this policy is a very critical subset of the security risk management program because it provides us with the direction. Remember in our last discussion, in our previous video discussion, where we were highlighting on the security risk management framework, the number one thing that we do in the framework under the direction is actually outline the objectives and goals of the program. And by articulating those goals and objectives in a policy and stating its purpose, we are able to do that. We are able to do that. So this is a very important document, all right? And we need to give it good attention and make sure that nothing is left out. We have incorporated all the necessary sections within it, okay? The sample template we are looking at right now is in its basic form. You might find organizations having a more lengthy policy. They've incorporated more than what we are going to be covering, all right? But at its basic form, its simplest form, it should cover the sections that we have highlighted there before, and we are going to be expounding on, moving on with this document, all right? Now we get into the body of the policy. Before we get into the body of the policy, we are not done with the document approvals. Now, in the document approvals, the document is not just being approved by the organization head. In this case, in this organization, the head of the organization is a CEO, all right? So he's going to provide his approval via signature there. And also, we are going to have approval from the Security Risk Management Program Steering Committee or Steering Team. Remember, the Security Risk Management Program is not being done by one individual. The security manager or head of the security department is not the one doing this is not the one formulating the program by himself. He's going to be working with a team. He's going to lead it, okay? He's going to be the project manager. He's going to own the project, but he is not going to do it alone, all right? So we're going to have a steering committee or a team. The team is going to consist of critical stakeholders or critical risk owners. These are people who work closely with some of the critical assets within the organization that are target to threat, all right? Depending on how your organization is structured, all right? You might see who you want to put in the steering team or the steering committee, okay? I would propose you include one senior leadership executive in the committee. You're getting approval from the head of the organization, all right? In the committee, incorporate a senior leadership executive as well. It's very important, all right? And also incorporate the business function heads. The managers in charge of those departments included in the committee, all right? Include some security team members in the committee as well, all right? So include everybody who you feel is relevant as far as the security effort goes in the steering committee, all right? And also, if you have an IT department, include an IT representative. This is very important, especially when you're going to be looking at mitigations that are automated or IT-based or technological-based. Their input is very important, all right? And now you are also going to give the approval as the project manager. You are the person steering the project. You are the person steering the committee. So you will also need to give your approval, right? I'm just giving a sample of how your policy could look like, all right? Otherwise, it might vary with your organization. It might vary depending on how your organization is structured. But at its most basic form, there should be document information at the beginning. There should be document history for purposes of tracking, and there should be document approval section. Now we get into the policy body. For purposes of seeing this very clearly, I have zoomed in so you can see this quite well, same as myself. So we are going to begin now at the policy body. We have to define the policy, all right? We have to define the policy. In this sample, where this policy is drafted for organization Z, this is how the policy states, okay? It is the duty of all employees and security risky stakeholders to maintain a secure working environment in which risks to people, the company, and its assets are identified, assessed, and mitigated to as low as reasonably practicable. We are committed to execute the security management program's mandate in order to achieve these goals. That is the policy. Now, in the policy, you realize that we have captured in a nutshell what the security risk management program goal is, what the program's goal is, and how, as employees within the organization, are going to play our role and be committed to the program so that the program can be able to help the organization achieve these goals, all right? And then in the mission statement, every policy must be followed by a mission statement, or what you'd refer to as a philosophy. The mission is to create and maintain a stable, secure, and safe working environment in which we may together pursue our legitimate business goals without disruption, harm, or fear, all right? That is the mission statement, all right? Now, in objectives, all right, we are basically highlighting again what we want to achieve from the program, okay? To develop and implement a security risk management program that helps the organization achieve its objectives, operate effectively and efficiently, protect our people and assets, make informed decisions, and comply with applicable laws and regulations, okay? That is the objective of the program, or what we are hoping to achieve from the program. Now, when it comes to business planning, this is what we are hoping to achieve as far as business planning is concerned, or this is what we are hoping to do through the program as far as business planning is concerned. Security risk management practices will be fully integrated with the organization's critical processes and business functions at all levels to ensure it is considered in day-to-day business activities, okay? Now, once we have highlighted that in the policy, even when it comes down to executions, when you're trickling down to the execution part, you're not going to have resistance. You're not going to have resistance from departments or business functions or employees, because already it is every employee's responsibility to make sure that security risk management practices are integrated within their day-to-day activities within the organization, all right? So business planning is already outlined as something that security risk management is going to integrate. When it comes to application, how is the program going to be applied within the organization, all right? That needs to be well defined and outlined, all right? The security risk management program will provide guidance for application of this policy. A security risk management strategy and plan will be evaluated each year, demonstrating support of business goals and objectives. It will be implemented through fully resourced plans with measurable timelines and objectives. The SRMP will be aligned with ISO 31000-2018 Risk Management International Standard Guide, which will be supported by a program of awareness and training. Now, as far as the program is concerned, all right, it is going to give guidance. It is going to give guidance of how the policy is going to be applied, all right? And the security risk management strategy and plan is going to be evaluated annually, all right, according to these organizations. So every once a year, the program is going to be evaluated, all right? And therefore demonstrating its continuous support to the business organization goals and objectives, all right? And again, it is going to be implemented by fully resourced plans. This means that the organization is going to fully support it and provide the relevant resources to enable its efficient and effective implementation and execution. Again, it is going to be aligned to an international standard for risk management, okay? Assuming that this is the structure that the security risk management program is going to adopt. Now, every organization, depending on the structure they are adopting and being guided by, is different, okay? It's different, all right? And we do have many security risk management structures out there, all right? We do have so many security risk management structures out there. Some structures have been tailored by industry associations for their professionals, okay? Some standards have been tailored by companies that are risk management service providers, all right? So you will find structures out there for you to adopt for your organization, all right? However, my go-to and most preferred one is ISO 31000:2018 Risk Management International Standard, because honestly speaking, most of the other structures, most of the other risk management structures we are having out there are formulated from it. They borrow from this international standard, right? That is why it is my go-to. And as far as Organization Z is concerned, its security risk management program is aligned to this standard, right? Now, when we go to expected performance, what are the expectations as far as the security risk management program is concerned? Because those expectations have to be outlined within the policy, all right? The success of our security risk management program will be measured by its impact on our business goals, audits, annual security risk reviews, the ongoing risk tracking through collection of incident data, and the evaluation of mitigation action plans. That is how we are going to be able to measure the performance of the security risk management program moving forward, right? As well as measuring its impact as we move forward towards our business goals and objectives. Ultimately, the purpose of the program is to positively impact on the organization goals and objectives, okay? That is the purpose of the program, to positively impact the organization so that the organization can be able to achieve its core goals and objectives, all right? But again, we also have to outline how we intend to continuously monitor the program's performance. How are we going to monitor it? We are going to do audits. We are going to do annual security reviews. We are going to keep tracking the performance of the mitigations that we are executing. We are going to keep tracking the incident data that we are having, and so on and so on. So that needs to feature in the policy itself, okay? Now, criteria, all right? You will hear this word often, criteria. You will also hear it when it comes to the security risk assessment process, all right? But what criteria ideally means is the measuring metrics so that you can determine the significance of risk towards an organization, all right? That is simply what it means, okay? In this case, it is featuring because we need to know how are we going to escalate risks as they unravel in the organization. When they come, how are they going to be handled and how are they going to be escalated, okay? Now, extreme and high security risks will be controlled through senior management action with documented treatment strategies assigned. Medium or moderate risks will be assigned specific management responsibility, whereas low and negligible risks will be managed through routine procedures, all right? So it's important that criteria is factored in the policy so that there is no confusion in as far as escalation of risks is concerned or management of security risks is concerned. Now we have documentation. As far as documentation goes, each aspect of security risk management will be appropriately documented, particularly decisions and risk treatments. Individual tasks and group activities or projects will maintain security risk registers, while organizational security risks will be recorded in the strategic risk database. Documentation is very crucial for a security risk management program, okay? Documentation plays a huge role. It is also part of recording. All right. So recording and documentation is a very critical aspect when it comes to the existence of a security risk management program. Everything has got to be recorded. Everything has got to be documented, particularly for reference purposes and monitoring and review purposes. All right. And finally, responsibilities. Okay. Security risk management is a core business skill and integral part of day-to-day activity. All stakeholders will play their part in managing risk, and staff at all levels are responsible for understanding and implementing security risk management practices, activities, and procedures in their workplace. Again, under responsibilities, business function heads, managers and leaders at all levels are responsible for applying agreed security risk management policy guidelines and strategies in their area of responsibility and are expected to ensure that security is fully integrated with and considered in the normal course of activities at all levels. Visible commitment requires active participation in security risk management process, effective resource allocation, and making security risk a priority strategic goal, all right? So everybody has to be committed to the process, and that commitment has got to be seen. It's got to be visible, all right? So we're not just saying verbally that we are committed to the program and not executing through actions. We are saying it and we are doing it, okay? Now, security risk owners are responsible for reporting the progress of security risks and treatment plans to the Security Risk Management Committee or team on a monthly basis, reporting extreme risk promptly as they unravel, driving implementation of the security risk management systems, and for ensuring that managers are equipped with necessary skills, guidance, and tools to execute the system, all right? Now, we now go to see how the security head plays his responsibility here, seeing that he's heading the project or the program, okay? The security function head is responsible for the development, coordination, and promulgation of security risk management framework, including training and formulating systems that can identify risks, monitoring, reporting, and documenting new or emerging risks. The security function head is also responsible for review of security risk management processes and reporting key strategic risks, all right? As much as you're working with a team to help you integrate security risk management practices all over the organization, all right? Their involvement is critical towards the security effort, okay? Because the organization is doing its legitimate business. So it has different departments. Every department and business function playing its critical role, okay? And you come in as the security expert to make sure that as far as security risks are concerned, they have been factored in and considered within all those operations and activities, okay? But you are still the person that spearheads the program because you are the expert here. All right. Your expertise is very important. Okay. That is where the responsibility of making sure that trainings are ongoing, making sure that the systems are well formulated and designed, making sure that the systems can effectively identify risks, monitor risks, all right? Making sure that there is a good reporting mechanism and documentation going on falls under you as the security head of that organization, all right? And obviously you work with your security team in this, all right? And again, the responsibility of continuously reviewing processes, continuously reviewing security risk management practices and processes falls upon you as the head of the department, of the security department or security function, okay? And the buck stops with the boss. The buck stops with the owner of the organization or the boss of the organization. Therefore, the CEO is responsible for managing security risks across the organization. All right. And this is very important. When you're benchmarking for your organization to adopt a security risk management program, all right, as a CEO or a director heads a company knows that at the end of the day, at the end of it all, that responsibility falls under him. He will therefore pay more attention and he will support that initiative. Okay? Because what that initiative does, it protects the organization from exposure and litigation. And it also protects him as the boss from negative exposure and litigation. We've had so many organizations who have had to suffer the consequence of neglect. Okay? Remember, security and safety fall under duty of care. When you're putting security measures and safety protocols in place, ultimately, what you're doing, you're providing a safe and secure working environment for your employees. If you fail in that mandate and something happens, all right, you are exposing yourself to being sued. You are exposing yourself as the boss and the organization from suffering the consequences of neglect, all right? So that is why the buck stops with the leadership, with the boss of the organization, all right? So that's it. I wanted you to get a gist of what it is supposed to look like and the sections that it's supposed to incorporate so that you can be able to formulate yours if you don't have one in place. And if you have one in place that is missing some of those critical sections, you can include it, all right? Because as we stated there before, the Security Risk Management Program policy, it's a living document. All policies, all security policies are living documents, okay? So they need to be continuously updated so that they can be more effective, all right? And again, as threats are changing and evolving, and as our organizations are changing and evolving, that change should also reflect in the policy, being that the policy is the primary document that directs the program, the Security Risk Management Program, all right? So that's it for today's discussion. I hope that you have found some value and you have been inspired to formulate your own security risk management program policy if you don't have one in place. I look forward to our next discussion because we're going to be covering a very enlightening topic, which is security risk assessment. Okay, I'm looking forward to that, and I hope that you will join me in that discussion. Because remember, we said that security risk assessment is another important subset of the security risk management program, and we want to see how it plays out and why it is important. All right. Until then, thank you for joining me in this discussion. I appreciate your company. Kindly like and share. Subscribe if you haven't done that already. I'll appreciate it. And until our next discussion, goodbye for now.